It's your girl Diamond Drip, bringing you the insights and strategy you need in 15 minutes or less. So, who is Cheryl Scott?
Oh, well, that's a loaded question. Okay. I live in southwestern Ontario, about an hour and a half west of Toronto, for those of you that know where that is. We should be the Great White North. Mother Nature seems to be messing with us lately. I have a background as a career coach. I've been doing career coaching for over 15 years. I was employed in that field for, over a dozen years. And then a friend of mine told me about this company called LegalShield, and it was a service that made sense. So my husband and I signed up for the service because we needed wills and powers of attorney created, and they're included in the membership. We'd not found a more cost-effective way to get them done. So that made sense. Once we had the service, we surprisingly found all kinds of ways to use it. I mean, initially I'm thinking we're good people. We don't need lawyers. We don't use lawyers. Well, let's be real. We didn't use lawyers because we couldn't afford them. Same reason that we didn't get our wills and powers of attorney done 25 years ago when we got married. It just, you know, when you're 20 something, there's better things to spend $1,000 on. I can only imagine what it costs now to get it done the traditional way. So long story short, I began recommending the service to other people, and my friend thankfully circled back and said, "Hey, instead of handing out my business card, join my team and make some money." And it made sense as a side gig while I was employed. And then in my last job, I was working for a government agency. Funding cuts came along, my job ended, and I thought, well, hey, here's plan B already in place. And my passion is helping other people succeed. So career coaching certainly made sense. Legal Shield and ID Shield makes even more sense because I get to help people in way more ways besides just finding a job. Don't get me wrong, I still do that, but that's become very much a part-time volunteer side gig. Thanks to Legal Shield, I can do that. And if people are unemployed, I don't have the heart to charge them. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. So thankfully, I get enough income with Legal Shield that it allows me to do what I love, which is helping people.
I love that. Okay. So, you work with Legal Shield and you mentioned a few things like wills. Who is it that you serve and why those people specifically?
Well, I can help families and small businesses all across the United States and most of Canada, which is fantastic. And my mission is to protect and empower as many of those folks as possible. My sweet spot is new and prospective business owners and solopreneurs. Why? Well, for a few different reasons. They should have lots of legal needs and questions and typically don't have a lot of money. Or if they do have money, they want to be putting it into revenue generating activities like marketing and product development, not boring things like administration and legal and accounting, as important as they are. So Legal Shield is kind of the perfect solution for those folks. It's going to ensure that they get started on the right foot. And if somebody's got the guts to start a business, I want to see them succeed. This isn't a guarantee, but it's going to definitely improve their chances. And there is nothing more disheartening than hearing about a business fail because they simply didn't know what they didn't know and missed a couple of steps. By having a lawyer in their back pocket, they can make sure that all their T's are crossed and their I's are dotted and all that stuff, which is amazing. The other reason, when I was a career coach, I had so many people say to me, "Oh, if I don't get a job, I'll just hang out a shingle and be self-employed." I'm like, "Ooh, slow down." Right? As an example, a carpenter, yes, him or her could work out of their garage, and they're probably great with woodworking, but what the heck do they know about starting and running a business? And I'm sorry, if you build it, they will come, but only if they know it's there. And hanging up a sign ain't gonna be enough. Just saying. So I mean, my advice to those folks was always get your A team together. You need a good lawyer or legal service. You need a good accountant or professional tax preparer. Do not do your own taxes. I mean, in Canada or the United States, you will miss tax write-offs that you didn't know were there. Just saying. Speaking from experience, you're going to need help with marketing. I mean, unless that's somehow your background or your field, how are you going to create a website? How do you know how much something like that should cost? How are you going to search engine optimize it and do social media posting and all that stuff when you're focused on whatever your craft is? So, my mantra is for all business owners, but especially new ones, do what you do best, hire pros for the rest. Your chances of success are way greater. And I get it. Starting out, you don't have a ton of money. So get the important ones crossed off for sure. And then as you go, get the rest. You know, the financial advisor, the minute you're bringing in money, not profit, money of any kind, revenue, you need somebody to help guide you because, yes, it's your money because it's your business. But if you keep it all, how's your business going to grow? Well, if you invest it all in the business, how the heck are you paying rent and food? So there's a sweet spot somewhere in there, and a professional can help you figure out what that is. So, with all that said, do what you do best, hire pros for the rest. And at least on the legal side, I can help save you a ton of money and stress. Because what do we know about the legal industry? Typically in North America, it's complicated, it's hard to access, and it's crazy expensive. We've covered all that. We're making it easier, simpler, and way, way more affordable because it's a monthly subscription. Similar to if you're familiar with AAA in the United States or CAA in Canada for auto services, we're kind of like that, except instead of tow truck drivers and mechanics, we have lawyers, which I love because it makes it affordable for everybody, right? We know wealthy people, or we've seen them in the movies. They don't do anything without talking to a lawyer. They don't sign anything without their lawyer looking at it. Well, Legal Shield lets us do exactly the same thing, which is super cool.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I could not agree more with everything that you just said. Can you repeat what it is that you said? Because that counts as words of wisdom. Can you repeat again for our listeners what you said about do what you do best?
And hire pros for the rest.
Yes. I
Yes.
love that. Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, there's certain things, like I still clean my own house because I can. I do my own social media because I can. But as my business grows, those aren't things that I enjoy. So I'm going to get them off my plate later. Now, I am not a website designer or any kind of technical expert. Oh, far, far from it. So I hired somebody when I wanted a website, right? So do what you do best, hire pros for the rest.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, on that same, I guess, train of words of wisdom, do you have any tips or crucial first step insights for someone who might be looking to start their journey in the legal shield industry?
Sure. Well, it's actually a little broader than that. Legal Shield, believe it or not, is part of the network marketing industry, which, okay, is also known as MLM, direct sales, and any other myriad of names. But really, it just means that our primary means of marketing is word of mouth and a little social media, because, this is the 21st, 22nd century. So that's all that network marketing means. It is not a pyramid scheme. I mean, let's get real. We've got thousands of lawyers that work for us. So it is totally legal or they wouldn't be doing it. But yeah, I mean, my advice to folks that are looking at whether it's Legal Shield or some other network marketing company, because sooner or later a friend or a relative is going to approach you, look at it very objectively. Is it a product or service that you're going to A, use, but B, can get excited about promoting to other people? If you can't get excited about makeup,
Yeah.
that's going to eliminate a bunch of companies right out of the gate. So maybe that's even a better tip. Know that there are thousands of companies in the network marketing industry. lotions, potions, cosmetics, legal, technology, there's coffee, there's cryptocurrencies, there's like, I can't even name them all. There are so many of them. And with the exception of LegalShield, in most cases, there's multiple companies in each of those sectors. There is definitely good, bad, and ugly, of course, just like any industry, even outside of network marketing, right? And
Absolutely.
so you got to take a look at 5 different things. Again, are you going to use the product and service and be excited about promoting it to others? Is it the right time for you and the marketplace? And you, are you in a place right now in your life where you can handle either a side gig or maybe a new full-time venture? Because it, much as some of them make it sound super, super simple and you're going to get rich quick, not, well, it is simple. It's not necessarily easy. Okay, just to take away any mystique from that, it takes hard work. Can you make a little bit of money easily? Yes. Can you make big money? Yes, but that won't be so easy. It is simple, it's not easy, but I will tell you, it is worth it. And I have met millionaires in many, many different network marketing companies in many different areas. So they're all viable, but what's going to work well for you? What's the company's background and reputation? You know, did they start yesterday or have they got history behind them? I mean, LegalShield, as an example, is headed into our 51st year in business, 24th year here in Canada. So we are rock solid. We're often called the oldest new kid on the block because nobody's heard about us. Again, because we only market word of mouth. So those are some things that you need to consider when you're evaluating. And then the team, the folks that you're joining up with. Do you like them? Do you want to be in business with them? Are you going to have fun? Do you think alike? Do you have similar mission and values? And are they going to respect your goals? Because your goals are going to be different than their goals. So just a few things to consider when you're evaluating any business. I love LegalShield. Trust me, I've tried other network marketing companies. I think about 7 or 8 of them over the years, and it took me a while to find the one that resonated for me. It might take you a while too. So don't get disheartened.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, so many nuggets in there. And as we begin to wrap up this episode, I'm wondering, how can people connect with you? Where can they experience more of Cheryl Scott?
Probably the easiest ways to connect with me. One would be LinkedIn because I'm on there all the time. And just look for my photo because I'm not the only Cheryl Scott, but it is Cheryl with an S. And I do have my photo on there and my background as to how I got where I am. So much information is there. That's probably the simplest and easiest. And from there, you can find my website and email and all that good stuff. I am not great on other social media platforms, so LinkedIn would be the one.
Same, same. I do the others, but LinkedIn is kind of my main.
Yeah,
And I would love for our listeners to connect with you via your website, which I will also be linking in the show notes. So connect with on LinkedIn, and then I'll also put her website directly
perfect.
into the show notes. I am so
Thank you.
thankful for your presence on this episode.
I'm just so glad that we have met. And yeah, the other place folks can find me is around the Happy Neighborhood Project networking events. I captain a bunch and I attend a lot, so that would be another place to find me. But LinkedIn's going to be easier for sure.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Until next time.